better. So in preparation for this speech, I gave some thought to some of the other speeches I've delivered, most specifically the first one I gave in NFTY. And if I give this speech at the rate that my heart rate was going there, we'll be done real quick. But the thematic elements of my speech involved some audience participation. I would ask the congregation some rhetorical questions, and then ask them to respond with, "Why Austin?" Now, why did I do that? Why Austin? Right, come on, a little better. Why did I do that? Why Austin? There you go. Because by the end of the speech, I had gotten them to say my name 5 times with the idea that they'd say it one more time at elections. It worked. Pretty cool. Opportunity to travel through 3 countries, go to several travel regions, and experience NFTY on a whole wide range of levels. I'd like to take the opportunity during this speech to give the top 5 things I've learned during my time in NFTY. So here we go. Tip number 1, understand my Jewish journey. Everyone has a path that they take to get here, and most of the time, all the time, there are people along that road who help you get there. I'd like to take the opportunity to thank just a couple of those people who got me to where I am today. First and foremost, my parents. Thank you for instilling in me Jewish values and overall values. I'm an absolute hybrid of the two of you. If at any point during the next couple of hours you get the chance to talk to them for about 30 seconds, you'll go, "Oh, that's it." I'm so grateful to have you as parents, and I'm so blessed that you both keep things in perspective for me and as well as cheer me on in everything that I do. My grandmother, Judy, who's with us tonight, and my grandfather, Ted, who is home in Chicago. Anytime anything has ever been important to me, you've been there, and here you are. So thank you from the bottom of my heart for being here, because it means the world to me, and for being there for everything. I want to thank my best friend, Alan, who is not here this evening, but Alan is the only person I believe who truly understands who I am in NFTY and who I am in the real world. He's kept me grounded in both, and he truly has an understanding of what it is that I need from my best friend. When I finished writing this very speech, I texted him saying, "Just wrote my last speech in NFTY," and he responded, "But not your last for NFTY," and he really gets it. So thanks, buddy. Sorry, guys. The leadership team. Subi, you have an incredible ability to make the moments that we have both fun and meaningful. You make every moment simply extraordinary, and I'm so blessed to have shared them with you, and I look forward to leading into the future, knowing that you're there backing me up and looking out for me. Thank you. Melissa, the grace that you bring to everything you do is so beautiful, and I have learned new buzzwords for things like intentional and displaced, and you use them to really give us just holy and meaningful moments. Every day that I get to work with you is just a pure blessing. And again, I look forward to spending so many more with you here at the Cook Camp, which has become my new home, and everywhere else that we may go. Beth, I jokingly refer to you as my Jewish leadership soulmate. It's gotten to the point where when I'm writing programs, services, or speeches, I think of what would Beth say if she was in the room. "You don't even have to be there anymore. I can do it without you." Thank you so much for everything that you've done for my time at a regional level, my time as an Auxiliary camper, and now at a North American level. I wouldn't be here without you, first and foremost, and I thank you so much for that. Finally, my board. I want to thank my board for making this year simply extraordinary, because I wouldn't have been able to do it without the 4 of you. Each of you brings something so unique to your position and so unique to my life that I simply could not believe doing this otherwise. Taylor, you're extraordinary in your ability to connect with others, and although you and I have not always agreed on the way in which we do things, I think we share a dedication to what is right, a distaste for what is wrong, and a desire to distinguish between the two, and it's good enough for me. Avra, you are incredibly passionate about everything that you do, and you are dedicated to making this world a better place. Most people say the youth will change the world, and you make it not a saying, but an actuality. That's a beautiful thing. You're also one of the most compassionate and meaningful board members I've ever experienced on board with me, and I thank you, and look forward to many more years of great Jewish leadership together. Eliza, first of all, if any time in my entire term I've ever worn anything that was attractive or flattering, it was probably because she made me wear it. You have an incredible grace about you, both in clothing and in presentation. You make people smile, you smile, and you're truly blessed in your ability to make people learn about others and about themselves. I've learned an incredible amount about myself from you, and I thank you so much for that. Forrest, I'm going to read this one for the 3 years after meeting on the RCVP trip, you and I have shared so much. I cannot express how much I have loved working with you, and how inspired I have been by your dedication to NFTY. You never fail to make me laugh. We have more inside jokes than I can even recite, and I can't count the number of hotel rooms in which you and I have stayed up way too late talking about NFTY, life, and beyond, especially with puddles in them. Not your kind of puddles. I always know who to call when I need to vent, tell a joke, or laugh with. Thank you from the bottom of my heart for becoming a leader to me, a friend to me, and my brother. Back to our little countdown. Tip number 2, assume goodwill. Melissa requires that every person who walks into camp knows this phrase. It takes so much more energy to ruin someone's day than is necessary in the world. So assume that other people are not trying to do it. That mindset can totally shift the way you view a situation, and that is a beautiful thing, and it has made my life so much more meaningful having that. Tip number 3, don't read speeches, speak them. Nobody cares what you have to read. They care what you have to say. So if you speak from your heart, you might just speak to someone else's. Now, of course, if Subi Bashinsky tells you to read a speech, you read a speech. Not littering. Tip number 4. Find your fist on table moment. Everyone has something that they are so passionate about that they're willing to slam their fist down on the table and say, this is what I stand for. It's your job to find it, and it's your job to be there to put your fist down. Whether it's marriage equality, civil rights, whatever it may be, you have something that you are dedicated enough to speak out for. Because if you're passionate, other people will be willing to listen to your passion. Finally, tip number 5. NFTY is not real life. My father said this to me a lot during my time in NFTY to keep things in perspective. And to some extent, he was very right. I've referenced it a few times this year. NFTY is a beautiful place where we can go and forget about the real world for a few weekends. But when those events are over, we're forced to go back to the real world. In the real world, you don't get a hug every time you walk in the room. Guys hugging is gay. Things that are stupid are called gay, not stupid. Crying is not a show of dedication or love. It's a sign of weakness. Being an individual is not special. It's weird. At the beginning of this speech, I told you about my first speech, in which people would ask me, why Austin? Why did I tell you this? Why Austin? There we go. I told you this because I think I was asking the wrong question. The question was not, why Austin? The question was, why not? Why not make NFTY the real world? Why can't we bring the values that we learn here and make the world just a little bit better and a little bit brighter? When we're done with NFTY in 4 years, 5 if you're as blessed as I am, that's it. We're done. As soon as I'm done giving this speech, I'm gone from NFTY. Maybe when I'm talking so long. But I want my life to look a little more like NFTY. Which is where I come to my last thank you. I want to thank my brother Logan. Logan is starting his NFTY experience. He started it this past year. and he just got elected to be the membership vice president of BADY, our Temple Youth Group. Over this past year, he has been my inspiration because truly, every time I made a decision, I wanted to make the NFTY that he grows up in just a little bit better